This speech is about Joe Biden's communion controversy. Are you shocked that the bishops are working on a document that may prevent Joe Biden, the second Catholic president of the United States, from receiving the Eucharist because of his actions contrary to church teaching? My purpose for writing this speech is to inform you on the current state of conflict between the Catholic Church and Catholic politicians who promote abortion. This is an example of an ancient conflict between religion and governmental power, where the bishops need to stand up to the inconsistencies between politicians claiming to be Catholic and their contrary actions on serious matters. I will cover the Church's official stance on the issue of abortion, President Joe Biden's actions promoting abortion, the bishops' response, and congressional Democratic Catholics' rebuttal to the bishops. First, I will explain how the Catholic Church has always taught on the sanctity of life. The official teaching of the Catholic Church in its 1994 Catechism is that human beings have the rights of a person from conception. From the first moment of his existence, a human must be recognized as having the rights of a person, among which is the inviolable right of every innocent being to life. Since it must be treated from conception as a person, the embryo must be defended in its integrity, cared for, and healed as far as possible, like any other human being. From the earliest times, the Church has without change taught that direct abortion is immoral. You shall not kill the embryo by abortion, and shall not cause the newborn to perish, has been taught since the 1st century. The penalty for a direct abortion is automatic excommunication. An indirect abortion is where an unborn child dies as a side effect of a medical action, such as removing a diseased uterus to preserve the life of the mother. This is not considered immoral by the Church. Assisting someone in obtaining an abortion is considered a serious moral sin, with the penalty being excommunication because of the crime against the unborn. Excommunication is the Church's most severe punishment, which impedes the recipient of the sacraments, including the Eucharist, believed to be the literal body and blood of Christ, which has the appearances of bread and wine. Next, we know that President Joe Biden is a Catholic, and according to Bennett of Time magazine, he talks about how his faith has helped him through difficult times in his life. The recent rift between the Catholic bishops and Biden come from actions and statements he has made that are opposed to church law and teaching, including pro-abortion, pro-homosexual union, pro-transgender surgery, and Pro-Equality Act, according to the Catholic League for Religious and Civil Rights. The most serious issue that the bishops have with him is his promotion and expansion of abortion. According to the Catholic League, Joe Biden has passed executive orders and signed laws from Congress to facilitate abortions and other practices against church teaching. In January, Biden called for all federal judge nominees to commit to Roe v. Wade. He also called for Roe's codification. He also got rid of a federal policy that requires overseas nonprofit organizations to not commit or recommend abortion. On the same day, he recommended that the Department of Health and Human Services remove a rule that forbade federally funded programs from recommending patients for abortion. He is in favor of the Equality Act, which will eliminate conscience protection for healthcare workers and force Christian hospitals to lose their federal funding if they refuse to do abortion. Now we will discuss that in response to Joe Biden's abortion policies, the Catholic bishops plan to write a document explaining what is required to receive Eucharist worthily as well as when not to receive it. According to Ellie of the New Yorker, the bishops met virtually in June to discuss and vote on the Eucharist document, with 168 in favor of writing the document and 55 were opposed. It was made clear that this would not exclusively target politicians or any individual in particular. Williams cites in a previous document, Faithful Citizenship, that the bishop said the issue of abortion is predominant over other important issues such as immigration and climate change. The threat of abortion remains a preeminent priority because it directly attacks life itself, because it takes place within the sanctuary of the family, and because of the number of lives destroyed, the bishops declared in the letter. Additionally, 60 Catholic congressional Democrats in favor of abortion wrote a public letter to the bishops in response to the upcoming teaching document. The letter shared their concerns about withholding the Eucharist over the singular issue of abortion. They argue that the Church does not enforce excommunication and withholding the sacraments over the death penalty, immigrant children's separation from parents, holding back assistance for those who are hungry, and denying safety for refugees. The letter also expressed their belief in the primacy of conscience. They also argued that they have done beneficial things for the American people, such as helping the poor, disadvantaged, and oppressed, by reducing the rising rates of poverty, particularly child poverty, increasing access to education for all, and other examples. In conclusion, I have formed my audience on the current conflict between the Catholic Church bishops and pro-abortion Catholic politicians, primarily over abortion. We have covered how the Church has always held its position on the sanctity of life for all, including the unborn. This includes excommunication for those freely obtaining an abortion and those helping them to obtain it. We are aware that Joe Biden is proudly the second Catholic president in the United States, and of how his actions to promote abortion have caused the bishops to take notice and to respond to his political views and implementations. We discuss that the Catholic bishops took a vote to make a document describing what it takes to receive communion worthily and not in a state of serious sin. They have emphasized that this document is not to target a specific individual or class of people. Thank you very much.